I think it was this other phone that I was trying to use.
Oh no, the phone saga.
No, this was my sister, the one she gave me. I was trying to
I
use that, yeah.
know. That's what I'm saying, the phone saga.
But obviously this is gonna work because it's like a new phone, you know? And clearly it's working.
So many tech issues.
No, I just wanted to like use this one instead of my main phone, you know?
Right.
Let
Yeah.
me see. I'm ready to like lay my head down
Go
to
to sleep,
sleep, you
sleep.
know? Not
Go to
right now
sleepy.
though. Not till tonight, obviously, but um yeah, I can't wait to like wake up refreshed. I don't think I'm gonna eat anything. I'm probably just gonna fast, you know?
Keep fasting. Yeah. Have you tried? I know you said before that you've tried, but it hasn't worked. And that was a story that you have. But have you
What?
tried um just taking a nap and like putting a timer on to see if you can do it?
Yeah, I was gonna lay like I was sitting out here and I just, when we're done, I'll just be sitting out here, you know, and a lot of times I end up like this, you know.
So you do nap. I knew it. I knew you did. You
Well,
always
not
said that you
really.
don't really nap, and I'm like,
No, not really. I can't really, but what's been happening to me lately with the energies that we're experiencing, I've just been dozing off, like at the computer or whatever, you know. But not
yeah.
today. I didn't. Not today, though.
Not
Um,
yet, at least.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we could talk about it though. I'd like to like talk about my experience and you give your feedback and everything, and because like it kind of is what we're doing, you know, with the facilitating, you know.
hmm
But we'll just give it a few minutes for people to join.
Yeah, and thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for hanging out with us. Both Darren and I, oh, thank you. Both Darren and I have had
I don't
some.
see any chat. How do you see the chat?
I just see people are hitting the like button.
Oh, there's the chat
Hello.
now.
And watching us. Darren and I both had some very interesting experiences in the past few days. And if you,
Damn,
hi,
there's 27
hi.
people on here.
And thank you for hitting that like button. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Darren's from North Carolina.
There's
We,
27 people in here, so tap that like button because there's like
yeah.
27 people, and subscribe to the channel, y'all, if you're
If you
vibing
feel
with it.
called,
If you're vibing with
if
it.
you want to hang out with us, and if you don't know who we are, I'm Luna, this is Darren, this is our channel. We talk about spirituality, awakening, support with different tools that we channel or are certified in to support you all in your innate ability to heal and to realize how freaking powerful you all are to be here at this time. And both Darren and I had the most interesting experiences in the past 3 days that are similar, but also different and unique. So if you're curious about that, feel free to let us know. Um, so, yeah, Darren, do you want to go first or do you want me to share about our experiences
Well, let's
before you
just
go
give it
take a
a
nap?
no, let's give it like a minute or two, you know, for like more people to join, you know.
Yes, it's our life update of today.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yes, I think so. Because you're going to express how you are and what's been coming forward for you, and I could do the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just like I said, just give it a couple minutes. I'm just posting some of the links and everything.
There's a question. You work. Do you mean, do I work out? Or is this our work that we do? Or what is your meaning behind work with your question, Shanae?
And what's going on,
Welcome
Matt?
from India. Welcome, welcome. And anybody else that's here around the world, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, game on, dude. Welcome from India. Um, yeah, as you can see, well, if you want to, maybe we should like just mention some of the events like on Eventbrite and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Do you
And
have your
like,
calendar still in the car?
yeah, I got it right here.
Yes. Oh, it's 12 in the
Um,
morning. That's pretty early.
yeah, it's pretty early, 12:30
Yeah.
a.m. Boy, I'd be if it was
10:30 for
12:30
me.
a.m. here right now, I'd be sleeping right now because I didn't sleep
Same.
last night.
Uh-huh. It just makes me
Um,
yawn thinking about that. I'm like, ooh, bedtime, 12:30.
yeah, I know, right? You're ready for to lay your head down to sleep, huh?
Yeah, just by saying that, that's interesting.
Um, so we have a event on Patreon, which is develop a spiritual business, March 12th at 9 a.m. Pacific.
Yes, and that's a
Um,
crystalline soul healing activation with light
if you have a
language.
good spirit,
We're both certified in crystalline soul healing from Jamie Price. If you don't know her, please check her out. She certifies in crystalline soul healing. She certifies in light language and is powerful and potent. And Darren and I both hold a template simultaneously. This one would be the intention of starting your own spiritual or developing your own spiritual business. And then we hold the beautiful anchored space and then see what we notice that's being released or activated with that intention to remind you of your innate ability to heal. And it's really powerful and potent. And we also do light language, which are different sounds and vocals that come through us, um, of unconditional love that our soul remembers and your soul will remember too. And it's not in English. Um, but it doesn't need to be because you have like this deep understanding of what it means.
there's a lot of activations on here on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram, and there's tons of content. So if you're not already following us, go to at Daren and Luna. You can follow us on X, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, pretty much everything. Facebook at Daren and Luna. We're doing a Kundalini activation on March 16th at 7 a.m. Pacific.
And
Um,
Kundalini activation is this beautiful motherly energy that everybody has. It's at the base of your spine. Both Darren and I are certified in it by Iva Kelsey, doing sacred feminine Kundalini activations. And we hold space for you to help release and activate what no longer serves for you. And you go on this beautiful sound journey. We also blend it with light language, messages, songs, whatever wants to come forward to allow the energy to flow and move for you.
yeah, and so yeah, that's the it's on Eventbrite. Um, so you can go to darenandluna.com/links and then scroll to join activation. And then so that will be a free event on Eventbrite on March 16th, 7 a.m. Pacific. And then we have another activation on the 23rd on Eventbrite as well. So
Yeah, the
and it's,
last 3 Sundays we have Kundalini activations. The
yeah,
first one is free, and the other ones are have an energetic exchange or a donation. Please understand that I don't know how to change it, but maybe I'll add it in the description. That even though it has a certain price, that it says if you click on it, you'll see that there's an option for donation. So whatever you feel called to donate to join is welcome, but understand that it has a set price, but don't let that fool you. Like, don't let Eventbrite fool you. There is a donation option as well.
what on Eventbrite?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
didn't know you could do that.
Yes. I figured it out. There's like
Oh,
three
that's
ways you
cool.
could do: free, paid or donation. So I did free for the first one, and the last two there's paid and donation. So if people
Oh,
feel
cool.
called, they can do either. Like whatever feels good and resonant for them is
Oh,
perfect.
cool.
So I do need to add it in the description, and I've been thinking about it just because when I look at it, it looks like it says
No, I
$44.
would add
When you
it. I would
click,
definitely add it. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely
but
add
when
it
you
in the
click on it,
description.
then you can see two options. So just
No,
letting you
definitely.
know.
Yeah, no, definitely add it in the description because yeah, that's I didn't know you could do that. So we have one on the 16th that's free, and then
Yes.
we have one on the 23rd that's donation or um a fixed price, and then we have one on the 30th that is also on Eventbrite that is either donation or fixed price. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean come check it out. You can go to darenandluna.com, and then you can go to /links, and you can then you can you know scroll down to where it says join Kundalini Activation. I'm a little slow today, guys, because I didn't sleep at all last night. So
Yeah.
um and
Or you
then
can just go to darenandluna.com. You will see in the header it'll say quick links and click on that and
yeah,
everything's
that
right there.
too. Yeah, and then also you can go to darenandluna.com and scroll to the bottom and submit your email address so
Oh
you
yeah,
can
to join our
receive
newsletter.
yeah, so you can
Yeah.
receive this fancy calendar like I have right here,
So fancy.
um, made by yours truly, Luna Light. Um, so yeah, you can get one of these fancy calendars, and you know, the text as well, because it has text describing each event and times and everything. So that's totally free if you want to be in the know. Like for example, we have even YouTube events on here, live YouTube event with Daren and Luna on the 18th. There's also going to be dinner date with Luna on Wednesday on the 19th. So you'll be able to know all this, ahead of time, so that you can schedule accordingly if you want to be there live. So definitely, join us on this miraculous journey. And you can go to darenandluna.com, and at the top on the header, if you want to donate to us and our mission and our purpose, there's Cash App, there's PayPal, and there's Venmo. So you can
Mhm.
donate whatever you want, even if it's $1. So thank you. You're coming to say hi, to say I hope you guys are a great day. Love you guys. Love you too, Phoenix
Love you
Princess.
too, Phoenix.
And thank you for stopping by. Um, I guess I'm
Yes. And
assuming it's time for you to pick up your son at the bus stop. I'm here getting
mm,
everything ready for my move. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I thought you were at the bus stop because I mean it's like 2 o'clock, I think. Uh, well, congratulations on your move. It seems like everybody's moving. Uh, just in the process of moving and everything, and wanted to stop by real fast. Oh, okay, that's okay. Thank you. Appreciate you. So you want to go first, or you want me to go first, or what?
I'm I'm okay with either.
All right, I'll go. And then no, it's not time to get Dylan from the bus yet. Right now, it's raining, and then we're supposed to get a snowstorm tonight. Oh wow, my time it's only 12:58. Okay,
Mm,
so you're like 2 hour difference.
I don't
You're
even know what
welcome.
time it is for me.
For me, it's like two o'clock. So that means 2, 1. That
So that
means
means it's
11. It's 11 for
11.
you.
Mm. All these time differences.
Yeah. Well, on the new Earth, there's no time and space, so we're not going to have to worry about time differences.
That's right.
So I guess I'll share. So yeah, I had a very interesting experience last night, to say the least. And well, I've mentioned to you guys this has been happening to me a few different times, where I've been experiencing like which people will call acid reflux, I guess you can say. Um, and last night it was really rough. It was like I dozed off and then woke up out of nowhere with like this burning acid like shooting into my throat,
Mhm.
and then I was like choking and coughing and pacing around, and I'm like, okay, now I know that the what I ate, the last thing I ate did not agree with me, and oh, Phoenix Princess says she loves your earrings. Um so I I knew right then that I said, "No, man, that's it." This like I it's like you get to the point when you say finally enough is enough, And you're not gonna like you're done. You're gonna make a change. So it's like I've been kind of navigating like the different so I know it's like multi-layered like Luna said, and so I've been kind of navigating what I could eat and what not to eat because it's not the easiest thing when usually if you have something that doesn't agree with you, it's right away. It's not like, you know, oh, a whole day goes by and you ate a bunch of things and, now it's nighttime. And um, so again, I can muscle test too, and I haven't been doing that. But I can kind of tell, I've been able to tell sort of what does and what doesn't. So, anyways, I had a vegan piece of lasagna that I got from this co-op that they made, and it had vegan cheese and red tomato sauce, and I just know it had to do with the tomato sauce. It's acidic. And so it's like kind of showing me I'm at a balance. And I noticed when I fasted for like 3, 4 days, I came back to balance and it wasn't happening again. So it's kind of like an alarm to tell me, yo, you're out of balance.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate that. It was really rough. And you know, so I'm fasting again, and I didn't sleep last night because once that happened, I then ended up having another Kundalini awakening. And this one was pretty tough, challenging, I'll say the least. I was like freezing, like literally, like I felt like I was in the Antarctic or Alaska, and it was like negative 20 degrees, and it felt like that inside my body. And I was like shivering and shaking, and it was going on for hours. I don't even know how many hours before finally it started to so what I told Luna earlier when we were talking about this on TikTok, I realized when I finally was like, I'm surrendering, like I'm not there's nothing I can do. Like the more I tried to like tighten my muscles so I could get warm, the more it was like continuing. And I had to like let go and say, I'm surrendering, like I surrender, like I'm letting go. And when I finally started to actually really do that, it got less and then it amplified again and then it got less. But then eventually, like I said, it had to be like, I don't know, like 1, 2 in the morning when it finally, um, when I started to experience like my body coming back to like a warm state where I wasn't like, my teeth were chattering, Um, I could tell, like, when I was speaking, my voice was very, kind of going in and out. Um, and so it was, so I did a muscle test and it was a Kundalini activation. And I knew it already, just in some of the things that happened to me when I had one in 2020. And some of the signs from Luna's experiences and from us taking the facilitator training, it just, yeah, it definitely was. So I feel like the lasagna led to me having that stuff coming up, which I do, like Luna said, feel like it has something to do with my throat chakra and whatnot, aside from um triggering a Kundalini awakening, So, yeah, like she said, there's like multi layer. So, I totally forgot we were going live on YouTube today. Um, and I knew we were doing TikTok, but I was like, maybe we'll just like pass on this. Uh, and, but, yeah, I can say this even more, that it humbled me even more. I have so much respect and so much deep gratitude for every single human that's here right now on this planet, because it is no matter how you reframe things, no matter how you see things differently, this is like one of the most challenging earth schools that we choose to come down to, and to be here at this time and literally be in the dark about a lot of what's unfolding. Um, and I know a lot of us went through that, you know, um, as a young kid and a teenager and in our 20s and 30s, being lost and confused and, but humanity's going through that right now. And a lot of us went through it already. And it just reminds me of the amazingness of this experience, but then how difficult it can be and challenging. And um, when you are in a situation like that, it's like, but I've gotten to the point where I don't throw my tools out the window. Before, it used to be where I threw them out the window, like, and it's like you're in like this heightened state and you're just like, you forget every tool you ever had. And but like I was like focused on my heart and focused on my breath, and I was not in fear. I felt a little bit of fear, but it was way different than, again, my mind started going to some places like, oh man, you need to get a blood work, and maybe you're not taking the right supplements to, all this whatever, like your mind just playing with you. And but I continued to breathe and I continued to focus on my heart and surrender and let go. And it's in those moments where we forget that our higher self is leading us, and with us, and we're not going to be given something that we can't handle. You know, it's like source is not going to give us something we can't handle. And every single one of us, man, and this is the last piece I'll add to it. Hey Dale, what's going on, brother? The last thing I'll add to it is um don't ever forget that right now, if you're here, you're a warrior, man. Like there's no joke. Like there's no, like, you were the one that stepped up and said, I'm going to go down there and do this for my family and my ancestral lines and for humanity, and that's what every single person, whether they're aware of it or conscious of it, they're here because they're strong and um, they're, you know, like I say, warriors, warriors of the light, like my old YouTube channel used to be called, Wisdom Warriors of Light. So yeah, it was tough, man. It was challenging, and but I'm here. I'm on the other side, and I'm gonna change some things that know I need to change right now. And that's another thing I'll just mention is, maybe you got to change your food or change something in your life. It's not a bad thing if you have to like, you know, um, switch the type of foods you're eating because it's not agreeing with your body. Maybe right now it's just that's what it is. And being okay with that. Um, and just being okay with everything that, before me and Luna came on here. I caught a few minutes of Lori Ladd's live. She did her live today, and the one thing that she keeps reiterating is like no, we were told to suppress anger, and we were told to like not feel this and not feel that, but like we're feeling multidimensional beings to feel everything, and we're here and not label it, you know, a specific thing, and just feel everything like I felt last night. So that's my story. So, I'm going through things just like all of you are, we all are. And no one I don't feel like anybody's exempt, no matter how much work you've done. We're all going through it and in different ways. And some are aware and some aren't. Majority aren't, and that's okay too, you know. Again, it's all in divine timing, all divinely orchestrated. So, just allowing for it to be what it is, and not entangling in what you think it should be or how it should be, or because I could have done that last night, and I could have been it even longer. It wanted me clearly to just let go, and that's what I was being shown, and maybe like Luna said earlier, me having the acid coming up and everything, it was a catalyst for me then to experience this, to then let go, and that was the only way that it would have happened, for me to actually be like, F this, I'm letting go, I surrender, you know, like I'm done, man. I can't try to control this, man, you know. So I think, and I know that that is the one of the biggest things we're letting go of in the collective is control. And going forward, we're not going to be able to have control, and we're not going to be able to understand it and figure it out. It's all becoming a frequency where we have to like lean into the frequency. And otherwise, it's going to be really challenging and really difficult, even more than what it already is. So, yeah, just let go, man. Surrender. I said enough. You guys think it's
I'm
true?
gonna get my charger for my phone.
Okay. It's true, though. Oh, I hear you, bro. I quit coffee today after researching a bit. I found it blocking my pineal gland. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you believe, um, then that's what it's going to be, But the biggest thing, like what I had to do last night, is listen to my body, and now I have to be even more in tune with the things I can eat and not eat, and be more in touch with my body. It is all about frequency, and that's where we're headed. And it's going to be very, very challenging if you are using your head and trying to figure it out logically from your mind, because you're not going to be able to do that as going forward. And so now it's like it's teaching me to be more in tune with my body. Like, oh no, right now I can't have this types of foods. Maybe that will shift at some point. Maybe it won't. Either way, it's fine, And same with you with the coffee, Maybe that's your body telling you, you've had enough of it and you don't need it anymore. And so it was a catalyst to get you to research it and then to stop drinking it. There's a
Hmm.
reason for it.
Yeah, talking about coffee just reminds me of my Starbucks
Oh
days.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
I worked at Starbucks for 10 years, and the whole time that I worked there, I was like, oh my gosh, there has to be more to life than this. Like slinging coffee, having somebody tell me what to do,
Yeah,
pretending they
amen.
care, but they don't really care about me. And then like putting on this front to everybody else that they do really care. It was just a really weird environment to be in. And I drink so much coffee, so much. But also put tons of sugar in it, like
I love the
tons.
frappuccinos that Starbucks had. That's what I used to drink.
I used to have mine was a chai tea latte with extra chai and soy. That was like my
I
drink.
never liked Starbucks coffee though. I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee with French vanilla
Oh my gosh,
syrup.
Dunkin' Donuts. Whoa. Okay.
What?
But it's
What?
all of like the
Why do
same
you say
flavor,
that?
right?
Whoa.
Dunkin' Donuts. Well, it's what's that other coffee shop that's down the street? Uh Dutch Bros. It's like the same thing. All of them are like really highly processed, high sugar beverages. Anyways, my
No,
point is I drank coffee for 10 years of different sorts, chai, caffeine. I tried all the flavors, all the things, and I still remember how to make all the things. But then it became one point when I tried to have coffee and it made me so anxious. Like I would just have a sip of it and my body would just start shaking uncontrollably. And I was like, whoa, my body is done with this. My body cannot handle this anymore. And I took a pause and I have taken a pause on it. And I haven't had coffee, with the exception of when I had a migraine. I had black tea, and that actually opened the blood
that's
vessels
caffeine.
to make it, yeah,
Yeah,
to
that's
make it
caffeine,
so
yeah.
my migraine went away. So I kind of wonder if that's how we're actually supposed to use caffeine, like if we're having a symptom like a migraine to help navigate it or mitigate it. um, but yeah, since then I haven't had it because of that experience. And it was my body saying, like rejecting it and having an allergic reaction. The same thing goes with like dried mangoes. I had tons of dried mangoes. And then all of a sudden, now if I try having it, I just get hives all over my whole body, which is very uncomfortable and itchy. So I feel like
Well, that's a similar
every
thing to what's happened to me, you know?
Yeah, so if to me it feels like there's these different energetics behind each food, right? Or each item or person. And then when we get to a certain point that our body's like, okay, I've received the amount of knowledge, wisdom, information, this energetic exchange, that now I'm going to communicate with you in a way that you understand that we don't need this anymore, that our
Yeah.
relationship between us is complete for now. And your body might show you in different ways, or people might leave, or you might leave the situation. um
Yeah, yeah, like Dale, you know, with him starting to research coffee and blocking his pineal gland. That was his higher self, like guiding you, you know, and to stop drinking it, basically, you
yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Before you would have a physical experience like what happened to me. I just want to read one thing, Luna, before you continue, because I think this was so powerful. What you all said. It's not it's not for each drop of water to control the ocean, but to harmonize their connection through the vibration, and by doing
Mm.
so, learn to put their ripples in. Thought that was really beautiful.
Wow, that's beautiful. Can you screenshot that, Darren? That's like a
Yeah,
beautiful poem.
yeah,
Thank you so much for
uh,
sharing that. Wow.
yeah. And then, so it's like, yeah, like what you're saying. It's like sometimes we get to the point where, yeah, our bodies reject it, you know, because maybe you're having it too much.
Hmm.
Maybe like, you know, like maybe you're out of balance. So like I'm fasting now because I'm trying to bring myself, back to balance, you know. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So one thing that I'm being reminded of right now is cheese. So I used to love cheese, extra sharp cheddar, blue cheese, soft cheese, all the cheeses. Like I love cheese. And then I felt called to take a pause on it. So I listened and I went back to try my favorite cheese, which was like extra sharp aged cheddar. And it was so interesting. And this might be your experience. So just try it on as an experiment and try it on and see if it resonates with you. And it might show you in a different way than what I'm explaining, and that's okay too. I tried a piece of extra sharp cheddar because my kids are still eating cheese. So I'm like buying them all these cheeses. And I put it in my mouth and I tasted nothing, and the energetics of it felt flat versus like when you have a live food. For me, I can feel the vibration of the vegetable, of the fruit. But for here I felt nothing. it was like, wow, I feel like numb for some reason. Like I don't feel anything. And then at the very end, when I was chewing it, I tasted like a hint of flavor, but that was it. And I was like, whoa, that is so weird. I don't really understand what spirit's communicating with me right now, but the fact that I can't really taste it and it doesn't feel alive to me makes me feel like I shouldn't have it. So fast forward, and I think I've told this on a different live. I went to a winter solstice event in December with my friends, and everyone brought potlucks, and some things were labeled and other things weren't. And I'd been avoiding cheese because different times I've had experiences of eating soft cheese and then throwing up, like literally afterwards. And anyways, I thought this dish was hummus because it looked like hummus, it tasted like hummus, and I was like, ate a lot of it, like so much of it. And then my friend who I rode with picked up the plastic container and it said chevre cheese, and it was a soft cheese. And then all of a sudden, I just got really tired. And I was like, whoa, like, I think we should leave soon. Like, I feel really tired. I don't know. I didn't need to go to bed. And as we're driving, I'm like hearing I'm getting an activation. And we keep driving. And then I just started vomiting over and over again. And I literally felt like I was dying. I was like, I feel like if I don't get home soon and figure out how to navigate this, I'm going to die. Like that's how it felt because I was literally throwing up the vial in my stomach, like the acidity that's supposed to break down food. That's all I was throwing up every 5 minutes, an hour and a half drive home. And later, I was like, "Okay, well, my body obviously thinks of cheese as poison at this point, or it's communicating with me like, you don't need any more cheese, honey. Like, you're done. You're done with this." And then I ate chicken, like these chicken nuggets. Both Darren and I are vegan, and I thought that they were vegan, and they're not. And they had soft cheese in them. And guess what? The same thing happened. But this time I knew how to navigate it and I had some black charcoal pills that I took to help it so it wasn't as intense.
Mm.
Um but yeah, you might notice something that you consume like coffee for you. Maybe you'll get a hit, like you need to research this of like what it's potentially doing to your body by consuming it so much. Or you might get a hit of, whoa, this used to have flavor and some energetics behind it. And even though it's a live food, I don't taste anything. Or
Well,
you
like
have
he's
acid
getting the headaches.
reflux or headaches, or this is different ways of our body and our soul communicating with us like, hey, something's off here, can you investigate like what's going on.
Well, I feel like for Dale, he's just going through withdrawal, because like if you've been
Hmm.
drinking coffee for a very long time, usually like any kind of caffeine thing like soda or anything like that
Or
is
sugar.
yeah, well, I don't yeah, I mean for me I don't get that with
I
sugar, but
do. I
yeah,
rarely eat sugar, but if I have it, I get really bad withdrawals.
yeah, I don't really but like a lot of people I hear get that from caffeine, like headaches, and they basically can't put it down, because the withdrawal is, um but I can tell you right now, like that acid, whatever you call it, the acid coming up and shooting in your throat, like that to me is like your knees on the ground and me like I'm done. Like I'm
Mhm.
okay with I don't some people will have that and they'll take those things like I don't know what it is. You can get it over the counter and stuff like that, for that kind of thing. I know they're heartburn or whatever they call it, which is kind of the same similar thing, And interestingly enough, now that I think about it, it's kind of been leading up to this more I think about it.
Mm.
So it's like my body already I was having like just burning in the chest area,
Mm.
like
Mhm.
for the last few days. And it wasn't that like noticeable, but it was always at night when I'm going to sleep,
Mhm.
And then it led up to finally yesterday it happening. Um
Hey,
and
Darren, I'll be right back. I have to go pee, but keep going.
okay. And
Okay.
so Yeah, I mean, I'm like, hell no, like no food that I eat is worth suffering like that, you know? And if my body's telling me something, then it's okay. Like I didn't even really care. The lasagna wasn't like, oh my God, this is like the most amazing thing. And, I don't think any food anymore um, has a hold on me in that way any longer. It used to, but like I can easily remove something if it need be from my diet or change or shift because it doesn't have a hold on like addictions, they have holds on people where they're so addicted to the point where it's like no matter what they're experiencing, they can't give it up, you know? Yeah, it's like addictions can get to the point where people will sacrifice their, how they're feeling for the addiction. And I'm not at that point. I'm way surpassed that. Like I can shift and change what I'm eating or not eat anything at all, and versus like it used to be like I loved Italian food and Chinese food and especially breads and garlic bread and sugar. And it was like very difficult for me to um give it up no matter what I was experiencing. But now I'm like, oh, this piece of lasagna was not worth what I went through last night. Like, I'm okay, like, like, not taking it out of my diet for now. Maybe it's something that I have to do now, maybe at some point that will shift, but it's not there. A lot of the collective is still like, "Oh, I can't live without this no matter what I'm experiencing," you know? And,
Mhm.
I'm way surpassed that. And I feel like since, like, fasting the last several years and changing my having to change being forced to change my diet when they said I had candida, food does not taste the same anymore to me. It's like I used to really, like, live to eat. No, wait, it's live to eat or eat to live. No, I would live to eat, okay? Not eat to live. This is what my dad would always say that saying. And it was like food was my everything, and I wanted to travel around the world and eat at gourmet restaurants and and try like Chef Ramsay's gourmet foods and and like go to these celebrity restaurants and like food was everything, man. Like I was really addicted to food, and f- uh, since like 2017 and beyond, it's like my palate has changed. Like, there's nothing that really excites me anymore with food. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's good. But it's like, oh, it's not. It's like I would eat a piece of Ghirardelli chocolate with caramel drizzling out of it, and my eyes would roll in the back of my head. You know, like that's how what it did for me. Now it's like, okay. It kind of it sucks because it's very hard to find things that, anyways, I'm kind of rambling now, but
Hi, Infinite Wonders. Welcome. And
I can't
yes,
really
you
see the
you
chat.
can get migraines if the person's still here, as a way of your third eye opening. So that is definitely a possibility as well. So just as I was explaining to Darren, there are so many reasons that we have these experiences. I don't feel like it's just one thing. Like Darren has realized now, oh, acidic foods my body doesn't resonate with. But maybe Darren was put in that situation to have those acidic foods, to have this awakening, to because when we throw up, like it kind of reminds me of ayahuasca, how people talk about ayahuasca. It's a way for people to surrender. And the first thing that you do is you vomit. And then you have these psychedelic experiences and you're surrendering to this voice that you hear. I've never done ayahuasca. Just one of my friends was explaining it to me and I just found it fascinating. Um, and that could be the case. And it could also be like being communicated to Darren, like, oh, take a pause on this acid foods, like we want you to focus on something else. It's so many things. So it could be your third eye opening, it could be something that you're consuming your body doesn't want, it could be a relationship, I
And
don't
it could
know.
be multiple, it could be all of those things too,
Could
you
be,
know?
yes, exactly. So I always try to not have like, I'm seeing like a tunnel, like have tunnel vision of this is the one thing, and if I only do this one thing, everything's gonna be fixed. Everything's gonna
No,
be
but you know what
amazing.
though? You know what though? It's like
Hmm.
each thing was like leading to the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so like the acid coming up in my throat led me to the Kundalini awakening, led me to being up all night, led me to releasing fear, led me to, you know, noticing, oh wait, like, oh, I'm not in fear about this, you know? Um, so there's multi layers. I mean, and some of it you're never going to understand or never figure out, you know? And so yeah, I mean, but it is multi-layered.
Hmm.
And especially on top of it, let's not forget the solar flash that's happening, the rapture, the all these different energies coming in, you know. There's and the collective and what is happening in the collective where we're being forced to release control, you know. Because of look at all the situations that so many of us are going through. They're different, but they're the same because they're requiring us to let go of control. And I wanted to like say something to you, Luna, on the last live we did because you were talking about your kids,
Mm.
and then Kalina made a comment on like one of the things, and she said, All for all the mothers out there like, you weren't here to control your kids. They came here to have an experience. All you were was a portal to let them come in to have that experience.
Hmm.
That's all it is. And then she goes, let them be them. Let go and let them be them because that's what they came here to do. And like that was huge what she said about she goes, all you were was that portal to let them bring them through. And
As you say that, I literally see myself like, well, don't see myself, but I know that I'm getting giving birth and I'm seeing black and then a bunch of like shooting gold lines and knowing that like that's the birth canal of like giving birth to, a soul that's coming in. That's,
yeah,
that's
and
really good.
right now, like, a lot of people, spiritual teachers and what I've channeled and a lot of other channelers are saying is we're in the birth canal right now. Humanity
Mm.
is.
Hmm. Yeah, I
All of
see that.
humanity collectively, you know, we're in the birth canal. And um so yeah, it's gonna be a little bit bumpy and it's gonna be um an interesting 2025 that you will never forget.
Yeah. And I would love to speak upon my experience too.
Yeah, go ahead.
If
Yeah, go ahead.
anyone was here for the beginning of the live, Darren, or you can watch the replay if you missed it, Darren was explaining what his experience was last night.
Can
And
we just do one thing, Luna, before you do that?
yeah, what's up?
Just may just maybe like respond to there's a lot of comments here. I don't know if you want to read a couple of them or something or before you um or do you just want to go into your
Well, I've responded to a lot of them already.
oh you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some of them I've deliberately not really engaged with. I will just say, actually, I am going to engage with this one. Um,
Which one?
for anybody that comes into your life, however they're behaving, whether they feel like a certain label, or that they will cause you trauma because you're in their energy, that is something to be looked at. That if someone comes with a different vibration than you, therefore that causes you trauma, right? Or therefore that triggers you, because it really just comes back to you and how you want to respond or react, and to figure out why, like what feels disresonant internally, and really give that a look instead of projecting it outwards that these people are coming into our lives and causing us things, because that's not self-empowering, right? You're giving your power away by saying, if someone interacts in this way, then this happens to me. But it's a choice. We can choose
Mhm.
differently, and no one does anything to us. It just
It's
goes back
all
to the
happening for us. Yeah.
it just goes back to, again, everything is a story. So what story are you telling? What belief are you holding? What's your perception? To really release that, because there really are no Karens, or however we want to label anybody. They just are, just like you just are. And we are
Yeah.
coexisting together.
No, I
Okay.
agree, and, I always go back to, everything is happening for me and by me, Um, every interaction, every situation, every experience, our higher selves are orchestrating, you know? And I do really truly believe that, because it's our soul, The human ego is the thing that gets in the way, The soul is pure love.
And as far as my comment about ayahuasca, I think everything is medicine. It's plant medicine, and how we interact it and how we choose to interact it and what we receive from that wisdom is ours to hold. And I believe anyone could technically get addicted to anything if we choose. And
Yeah,
it's
of
more
course.
about what's the lesson here, what's the energetic, what's the wisdom, because we don't necessarily need to always consume something in order to feel connection, in order to surrender, right? Just like our thoughts, or our traumas, or our feelings and sensations, we could just think about it, feel it, and remember it. And we're there right now. Our body and mind doesn't know the difference if it was before or in the future or now. It's now. So that's kind of something else that I want to state while looking at the comments.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. And
um
then I would love to dive into my experience because we're about to end the live.
yeah, go for it, go for
Okay.
it.
So, one of my okay, so February was very interesting. It was grief, anger, and at the tail end of it, it was a lot of fear. And I've heard from other people who do the energetics channeling of the month have said that this month is a lot of fear to be released. So I feel like I got a little taster of it. And this month is going to be like the 6 course meal, I guess. Um, and I learned a lot about this around beliefs or stories, and how to let go of it and just be in it. And I know that brought me to my experience this Sunday. So, Darren and I held a Kundalini activation. And if you want to know more about that, check out our website, darenandluna.com. All the information is there. And we had this most beautiful, powerful experience of people having these deeper understandings of, um, being able to tune into something or someone, like a tree or a person, and being able to feel what they're feeling or experience what they're experiencing as a way to understand oneness, for example. So, anyways, after that, I go to this meditation with my friend, and I didn't really know much about it, and that's kind of how I go about my world. Is I kind of just tune into what feels good to me and go into it without having much knowledge or background about what it is. So I go to this place, and they're all about Buddhism, and that is their focus. And I'm being taught how to meditate, how to not move, and my body moves a lot. How to release thoughts, how to be focused on your body, spine completely straight, and then saying these like mantras and calling in these beings. And one thing that I've been worried about is the 3 days of darkness, or the flash, or it's really 3 to 7 days. And my guides have communicated what that looks like, which, for anyone that hasn't watched this live, it's basically they showed the earth, and out from the cosmos somewhere, this bright, thick white light hits the earth, hits the core of the earth. And when that happens, the whole earth vibrates this bright white light, where it's glowing, and it's all happening simultaneously. And then they showed me different beings, white light shooting in their body, completely glowing, some having an easier time and like smiling, and other people are having a really challenging time, like sobbing and crying and like clenching. And so that's like the days of darkness. And then they communicated with me, when this happens, this activation for us, that we will have this review of our life, which typically we receive at the end of our life, right? We know about what I just described, feeling what other people are experiencing through you, and different perspectives of, you made this choice, this is how this person felt and how you felt, and it all happens really fast. And I'm being told this will happen at this time. And to be honest, I've been really worried about it and it kind of anxious about it. Like, oh my gosh, because I still don't have a lot of my childhood memories. The ones that I do have are not pleasant. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be even reviewing. What is going to be going on? I don't know. And as I'm there meditating, my eyes are like twitching and moving around because the vibrations in that room were so strong, and I'm seeing different colors, different energetic beings present, activating me. And then I see this like uh black energy come and go over my body. Um and one person who channeled said that your karma will be released when this happens, and that there will be pressure on your body, and it really resonated when I was listening to it. But I thought it was gonna be terrifying when it happened, but it's not, which is so exciting. So it's like this black color that just goes over your body and goes completely down and then goes in the earth. And it is so light and so calm and so peaceful. And then you feel relaxed afterwards. And as I was there, I just knew, I was like, oh, this is what the days of the darkness are going to be. This is all that it is. It's not this huge, daunting, fearful thing. Um, it's just going to be this very light, gentle process. I thought it was going to be, like tons of pressure. I wouldn't be able to handle it and be like freaking out. So that felt really nice. And then they showed me afterwards what will happen is our chakras will individually be cleansed and activated. And when this happens, then our Kundalini will rise and we'll have this like gold white aura about us, to be able to navigate anything that's around us. I mean, there's a lot more to this, but this is just like what wants to be shared with you. So if you're like me and been like, "Oh my gosh, this was coming. I need to like super prepare for like all these possibilities," which of course, if that's what you feel called to do, please do that. Like that's not my intent. But the whole process of going home when you see these rainbowic lights with popping, to go rest and just surrender and release these different perceptions and stories that you were given and that you've been holding, to just let go of it. It's not as daunting. At least that's what was communicated to me as I thought it was. So for me, I'm like, ah, thanks, guys. Because I was really scared about that. And I've been like preparing up for it mentally, of like, the world is ending, or I'm ending, because
I
it's,
don't think you could really prepare anyway, you know,
but
how
it's,
could you really?
but it's, I was thinking that it was gonna be, and it is, but not at the same time. It's like, it's gonna be an ego death, but it's gonna be a more gentle ego death than I think I've ever experienced. Because usually my ego death is like I'm sobbing all the time, and like, oh my gosh, like this is what I did to you. This is what I perceived you did to me, and like releasing different patterns and how I behave and how I talk to people, how I talk to myself. But it feels just so peaceful and light. Um,
Well, it would have to be
yeah.
because, you know, if it's like what some have been saying, you know, where like, you know, everything goes dark, you know, like meaning technology, you know, um, it would have to be some sort of energy that could bring the collective to peace, you know, otherwise a lot of majority would be losing their minds, you know? And it's like I was shown like many years ago about how they showed me visuals of like how like the sun brings this blanket of energy and it like does makes changes to us, you know, and like this is the part of that we don't have control over, you know, like the planet is changing us, you know, and so yeah, it was really interesting when I was shown that. I try to describe it. I wish I would have like recorded it or something. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry for
And the last thing that wants to be shared is I feel like there's going to be a bigger throat activation this month too, because during this whole process when I was being shown, which is why I'm sharing it with all of you, because you might have a similar experience going forward to like prep you of this might be a possible experience that you have, is there's this sensation which is interesting because Daren talked about his acid reflex, which I feel is like similar but just different. Um, is that I felt like there's this energetics in my throat, like right under my chin. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to throw up here? I'm supposed to not move and distract people. Am I going to hiccup or a burp? And all of a sudden, it was just gone. It just moved. And it felt like my throat or my neck had elongated. So you might notice this month as you're processing potentially through a lot of fear, that your throat chakra or your neck will elongate to allow you to express your truth, to express your authenticity, and be more in alignment with what you're calling in and what your soul's desiring and what you're desiring.
mm, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Um, I yeah, I mean, there's huh, just a little taste of what I had is just reminds me of us letting go. I think that's the biggest theme of like 2025 in general. These energies are so potent and things are accelerating. Although today feels like the day has been much slower. I don't know if you felt
Mm.
that today. But the energies, it feels like the day is longer today, you know, which is interesting because it's been moving very fast and only getting faster. Um, Hence we're in March already. I mean, it's like ridiculous. Um,
I
yeah,
almost
just
wonder if you need to experience things slow right now. You know how you're feeling. And also when I'm
yeah,
tired, everything feels slower too.
yeah, maybe true.
And we're
Um,
time manipulators. I don't feel like today has been slow. For me,
oh, you
everything
don't?
feels faster.
Oh, really?
So I think it just depends on where everyone's at and what they're needing to navigate
Hmm.
what's present.
Yeah, maybe. Although usually, like when I was going through all of that last night, usually like typically when you have like a lot of things come up at the night when it's nighttime, you know, that's when a lot of times things rise up for you to see them, you know, because that's when it's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 1 in the morning, no one's around, you can't distract really, you know, at least incredibly distract, you know. You still can distract, but um it's like that's when all the stuff comes up, you know, the pains, the things that you need to see, the and last night, as much as and as challenging and difficult as it was, usually when you're going through stuff like that, it's really slow, you know? And like but it yeah, it didn't feel like that, you know? Um so that was interesting, but today does feel I mean, it's already 3 o'clock today, here anyway, you know?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it still feels like the day is slower or longer, maybe for me anyway. But it's still moving fast. Things are just strange and weird and in general, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because we're because it's happening, you know? but it's happening for all of us, and we're all doing it together, and we're all in this together, you know? Even though you may feel like alone and like you're doing it alone, you're not. We're all doing it together. We're all in this together. We're all creating the new earth together,
Hmm.
you know? So, and yeah, no one's claiming it's not going to be a wild ride, you know? It's definitely going to be a wild ride.
Hmm.
But hey, this is what we signed up for, you know?
Hmm. I think that's a good pausing point, Darren, for us to
Yeah.
head out.
Okay.
And I just want to say thank you all so much for being here and engaging with us, talking with us, commenting, following
Yeah. Thank you for
us.
the, yeah. Thank you for the new subscribers and all the likes and comments and the interactions. I love the interactions, you know? When we can, like, you know, you guys bring the discussions forward and we can have a conversation, you know? And, you know,
Yeah.
be vulnerable and be real and authentic and from the heart, you know? And
Hmm.
thank you, Dale. I think you just said one thing there. Thanks for the random encounter. There's more to uncover and watch out for the spiritual ego. I love. Yeah, that's thank you. And then for me, I had a super high vibrational day. After the live, I'm gonna reflect on my day and write down what I'm grateful for. That's beautiful, Dale.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good thing to do, you know. Good thing to do is you know, reflect on your day and have gratitude for, like, I have gratitude that I'm not experiencing what I was experiencing last night, you know. So, I have deep gratitude for that. And you know, I'm in the present moment with you all, you know. And that's what the key is, man, the present moment, you know, the here and now. Thank you, Luna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Darren. And thanks
Thank you,
everyone for being here.
yeah, thank you everyone for joining. And you know, we got a few more lives coming together this month. So, you know, sign up for the newsletter, DarenandLuna.com, and you know, you'll be in the know.
Yeah. Okay, bye everybody. Love you. Bye.
Bye.